Hare Krishna. I presume we are live now. So I welcome everyone. Everyone here in Zoom and those who are on YouTube live and those who are going to watch a bit later. We have been doing nectar of instruction now. So this is the kind of pattern we are following for what Srila Prabhupada ji put together in terms of Bhakti Shastri. So Bhagavad Gita, nectar of instruction, Shri Ishopanishad, nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion. So the four books that make Bhakti Shastri in Hare Krishna movement. And in nectar of instruction, there are not a lot, 11 verses, and we are on the first verse. So let's move forward and we shall see. This is great scripture being put together by Rupa Goswami ji. And Srila Prabhupada ji gave his commentary and his acharyas, his teachers, spiritual teachers, commentary because between Rupa Goswami ji and Srila Prabhupada ji, there were many other teachers, spiritual teachers, they came and they gave commentaries in different languages. Srila Prabhupada ji concise, precisely, and put that in English language for all of us. And he worked very hard to spread the word. And this is what you can see on book distribution. Srila Prabhupada ji always said that my body will leave, but I will always stay with you to his direct disciples. Then I will always stay with you and with the movement in the form of the books. So that's what we call book Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is a book which is considered as a book incarnation of Lord Krishna. The Lord Krishna incarnated as a book, which is book Bhagavatam, which is Bhagavad Puran. And then we have live people Bhagavatam as well. Those who follow the principles illustrated in book Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada ji did exactly the same. So he was a personified Bhagavatam and all our acharyas. Let's do the Mangalacharan, take the blessings, and then we shall resume where we left in Nectar of Instruction. Om. अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानजनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवै नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरून् श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथवितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सवादूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री गुरुदेव महाराज की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय 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 श्री राधेश्वर हरे कृष्णा. And I welcome Kana as well. It's always good to have the young blood, young generation there and present. And Kana himself alone represent all the youngsters out there. It's great. I always say that the spiritual foundation is great to have a sustainable material progress. So great to have you there with us, Kana. And we should try to spread the word. And that's why I said one of my Siksha gurus, Vishal Gaurang Prabhuji, who is very active in Reading. He is probably the coordinator when Guru Maharaji comes over and does the spiritual initiations. And when he found out, which you have to at the time of initiations, how you're participating, how you're going to help Srila Gurudev. And he said, so he was very happy the adult classes, but the children classes, he said. And that's the reason we have now resumed the kids class. So some of the devotees now it's hybrid. Some of the devotees they join online. Some of the devotees they come at our home. So feel free to join online if you like to. Feel free to bring them online. And they have already started asking great questions. And one of them corrected me. They asked me a question about Bhagavatam. And because Bhagavatam has 12 cantos, and exactly what I just did. I was thinking of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And I said, there are 12 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. And I was about to say, and then he picked me up and he said, no, you said last time there are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. Thank you so much. You corrected me very well. So this is the beauty, which sometimes us adults we might consider that as an offense to correct each other, but it's very important to correct because someone else might be listening first time and they might get the incorrect information by mistake. Similarly, once I said Parikshit Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. I think I mixed both of them. And somebody on YouTube live commented me that what you said was wrong. And I appreciated and corrected that as well. So it's always because while you are in the flow, it's very easy to make mistakes, and it's really good to have someone out there who would like to correct you. So feel free. This is a live discussion going on. So any mistakes I make, the whole idea is to have a sadhu sangha. And in sadhu sangha, in the association, we all are helping each other. Right? With that, let's move forward. What we are doing now is nectar of instruction. This is the verse, which is the very first verse. And probably if we have this verse, not only our spiritual side, but our material side will be sorted as well. Because most of the time we say in the office, if we are, we just need to, we don't want to get angry with anyone, even we don't like other person. And the way we should speak, it should always be pleasing to others. If we control on our food, what we eat, then I think it says 95 to 99% of the diseases they come from the upset stomach. And upset stomach gets upset by what we eat. Either we eat the wrong things or we eat good things but in wrong combination. So two of those things. We eat wrong thing, fast food, for example, or maybe wrong timing. But we eat two combinations which are not good. For example, I think as per the Ayurveda, we should not have, of course, yogurt in night we should not have. We should not eat after sunset, which is very hard in London because sunset now is happening around 3:30, 4 o'clock. So you wouldn't eat. But of course, if you got to eat, eat light after that. So all that is not even spiritual. But what Srila Prabhupada said that if we take care of these things, so these instructions, they lay down that foundation on top of this, it's easier for us to progress in spirituality. So if you are going to sit down listening or reading or doing the chanting or doing the worship, so when we sit down for the chanting, we might sit for 1 hour, couple of hours, but if your stomach is empty, stomach is upset, then you wouldn't be able to do that. So these are the foundations which are very important. And so this is the way we can understand it. It's very practical. This is given by Rupa Goswami ji. And in those days when the health was naturally very good because the fast food chains were not there. And even then, the nectar of instructions, the very first verses, if you think about it, this is mainly for the body. then mind, and the soul will come later. So we need to understand how practical our Acharya's instructions are. And like what Radhanath Swamiji Maharaj said, that when we go to a business person say, "Oh, my business been going on for 200 years," and always have to show off to have a trust of the customers. Always have the pictures of the ancestors there on the wall. And in the temple, even in Manor, if we go, we have the pictures of the acharyas. So Srila Prabhupadaji's deity is there, and then on the top of Srila Prabhupadaji's statue, we have Srila Prabhupadaji's teacher, then his teacher, then his teacher, and then his teacher, and then his teacher. So the five teachers are there, what we call Guru Parampara. So in our altar, we have so our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swamiji Guru Maharaj, then his teacher, Srila Prabhupada, then his teacher, and then four other teachers on top of it. So, and then of course, if we go further, this is a Guru Parampara, which we always pray then before we pray to the Lord, because Guru help us to reach to the Lord. So we always pray to the Guru. And even Mangala Charan, which we did, the very first prayer is to the Guru. And what the Guru has done it, Guru has given these instructions, which is Vacho Vegam Mansaha Krodha Vegam Jiva Vegam Udurupastha Vegam Hetan Vegan Yuvishate Dhiraha Sarvam Apimam Prithvim Sashishya. So this could be considered as a definition, the six qualities of a guru. This could be the inspiration that what we should be. We should, so each one of us, Srila Prabhupada said, should look forward to become a guru. Like we should try to work towards our own progress, but wherever we are, we should always help someone else as well. I think Anil Prabhuji humbly said that I'm working on myself, and once I think I will be there, then I can help others. But Srila Prabhupada said that wherever we are, we will definitely find someone who is behind us. So we should always help others. And another saying is that best way of learning is to teach. When we teach, we learn even better. Because of course, it's repetition. We do it again and again and again and again. And it's a lot of preparation. So when Amarendra Prabhuji visited Delhi and in Rohini temple, I think, and where Amol Leela Prabhuji was there. What Amol Leela Prabhuji said right at the front of everyone that I would like to pay my obeisances to Amarendra Prabhuji, who is much younger than him. And he said, I prepared a lecture and I did the full copy and paste from his lecture. So I copy his lectures and present my lectures. And he said that while I was preparing for the lectures, I listened all his lectures and I learned so much out of it. So when I deliver the lecture, I don't know if any one of you understood, but it helped me a lot. So again, as I always say, thank you for all of you who provide me the service, because in that, like today only, I have added another slide in the presentation because I most of the time I create the presentation from scratch, but for that process, you go through and you read all the lectures available, and that helps you. And then every week you try to listen a bit more. So this is what we all should do. So at home during maybe before dinner or whenever we meet someone, oh, this is what I have heard today. What do you think about it? And it's amazing. It's amazing. And we have Goswami and then we have Godasa. So another Prabhuji from Chopati temple, he said in one of his lectures explaining about nectar of instruction, the whole process, the whole nectar of instruction will make us Goswami. So of course we think of Goswami as someone who has born. So I always say my Mosaji, who's no more, he was a Goswami. Now his son is a Goswami and their surname is Goswami. But they are born in the family of Goswamis. But who is a Goswami? Goswami. Go is a word in Sanskrit for the indriyas, the senses. Swami, who is the owner, who has a control, who is the owner of the senses. That person is called Goswami, who is the owner of the senses. And this is what we all become if we follow nectar of instruction, if we follow the instructions given in this scripture. Given by Rupa Goswami ji, inspired by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji, further explained and condensed by many other acharyas and Srila Prabhupada ji presented it such a way that it's much easier for us to follow. So we don't want to be just go das, which most of the time we are. I was talking to a mother, and what she said, oh, the mind. Just a normal casual talk, and she said, like in Hindi, man nahi kiya. So the mind didn't allow me to do it. And I thought, mind, like Srila Prabhupada ji also said it, that mind is a terrible master, but mind is a great servant. So we don't want to listen to mind. That mind didn't allow me to do it. Well, if you're looking for, if we all are looking for the mind's permission, then mind is a master and mind is a terrible master. We all know what mind will take us. Mind will take us to all because mind is under the influence of Maya. And Maya Devi got a different agenda. And spirituality, Krishna consciousness is not part of that at all. So what do we need to do? We need to make mind our servant. So what we would like to do and what we would like to do, what the intelligence will say. Buddhi, Buddhi is the intelligence, mind is in the middle, and then ahankar, ego is on one side. So we don't want mind to go towards the ego, we want mind to serve the intelligence. And intelligence will come from Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So like what we are following, the Shastra is given by the Guru. So we'll go in further. We went through these simple explanations that there are these six things, six powerful urges we need to control. And these urges, and as we can see, these are like cactus. They're going to hurt us, right? We are, if we are going to serve our mind, then it's very hard. And what we will learn here, we will learn like what the purports will explain in Prabhupada's language, that what are these urges? So we found out the six urges that we need to control them. But also, why do they arise? And then how we can control them. So only three things if we focus on what they are, and that's Vachovegam. So we have Vachovegam, Mansaha, Krodhavegam. The first three things itself will do the job. The way we speak, mind, what mind thinks, and the anger. So the devotees should never be anger. Of course, devotees might get angry, like Nityananda ji got angry when, well, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji got angry when Jagai Madai, they hurt Nityananda. So it's like when somebody hurts the devotee, devotee himself or herself will not get angry. But if somebody else will hurt another devotee, then devotees get very angry. That we have seen these examples number of times. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji himself illustrated it. But that's not to say that we should do that. Of course, we should control. But rather than control, Srila Prabhupada ji said, engage. So what these urges are, how they arise, and how to engage them. These are the three principles. Now it's very important how they arise, not the anger management. So when we hear the word anger management, very straight away we understand that those who are saying anger management, they have already surrendered that we cannot subdue. It's impossible not to be angry. They have already accepted it. This is like allopathy. That allopathy will work on like the painkillers. So when my son was he does martial arts, he hurt his ankle or the wrist. His wrist was gone, and I took him to A&E. And the very first thing they said, have you given the painkiller? I said, okay, we can give the painkiller, but painkiller will just subdue the pain. Whenever it happens, take the painkiller, take the painkiller. Of course, put the bandage is going to take it. So Ayurveda goes to the bottom of why these things are happening. You take turmeric, you take, so what we say, ginger, an internal inbuilt immunity will be there, right? So the body will not get sick, but what we say, prevention is better than cure. However, most of the time when we say anger management, that's like cure, not prevention. We are not trying to prevent anger. But what spirituality will do, that will help on the prevention level. And that's what we are doing here. But how that will happen? There's a word called atonement. Atonement is, in Hindi, we call prayashchit. We have done something, and we have said sorry. We have said sorry, but then we have felt sorry. But even after feeling sorry, I'm sure all of us agree that we don't want to get angry, but for some reason we get angry. And then we feel sorry as well. Of course, we should say sorry. First step, we feel sorry. Next step. But even after that, find out the source and then prevent it happening again. The roots. This is what Buddha said. Buddha said, I've seen it now. I've seen the roots and I've taken the roots out. Now the anger could again. That was a beautiful analogy been given there. So this is what we are going to do. This is what we have already done it. This is a slide I added today, and we have this is the purport, part of the purport given. And if we quickly go through this, what this says that another example has been given by Srila Prabhupada ji of Maharaj Parikshit. That Maharaj Parikshit, what actually Maharaj Parikshit in Bhagavatam explains about atonement. So this is the beauty of the purpose given by acharyas that we have. It's not just what we understand, it's not just the literal translation of the verse, the purpose. And the purpose are not just their personal reflection. Purports are the context given in other scriptures, which are very relevant now for these scriptures. So Maharaj Parikshit on atonement says, gives three analogies. Elephant and bath. We remember elephants are actually famous in Vrindavan. We do the Gajendra Leela happens where Gajendra and the crocodile they're fighting with each other. But before that, they take a lot more time. That Gajendra is taking time to take baths. And what is that? That's sense gratification. A lot of us we also do it. If you go on holiday, we prepare so much. If you go in the temple, we don't prepare much. But when we go on holiday, we prepare a lot. And holidays could be spiritual as well. Like Mataji was about to go for spiritual yatra in Shiv. Swamiji Maharaj got in Krishna Valley near Budapest in Hungary. Go there. We got a new Vrindavan in middle of the France. We go there. Manor in North London does a lot of retreats. We go there. We go there. We take devotees because when we ask. Well, we take our children. We when we request our children to follow us, then our children they live with us. They see our pitfalls as well, and they might not follow us. But when we take them there and they see what other children are doing, then they understand what our parents are asking us is not very unusual things to do. They are other children. Like I was showing my son who used to go to Manor when he was young, and then he grew out of it. At Manor, we do Krishna Club. So we call it Krishna Club, but then it's a Krishna Club, Radha Club, Sita Club, and Ram Club based on the age. And once you have grown out of your age, then you join Pandav Sena. And I attended the Pandav Sena myself, not because of the age. I was much older, but for some reason I was there and I said, well, I would love to attend it, and they let me do it. So I sat down, kind of observing and learning from the youngsters. And I was there. One who was leading, I still remember it, and that could have been like maybe nearly 8 years back. And we call them Bhakta, and now I will call him Prabhuji because the same person who was there as a young leading the young Pandav Sena, so must be in the teen, was he delivered the mm, Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam session on Saturday. Was it Saturday? Well, no, not Saturday, sorry. Few days back, like 2 or 3 days back at Manor. So he delivered one of the sessions there. And you can imagine how many years been practicing delivering for the youngsters, and young himself must be in early 20s, and now he's there in the manner delivering the sessions. Right? This is the progress when we are in the sadhu sangha. So we should do that. This is what we could learn from the elephant. Not only that, how much time you spend in sense gratification, but when you come out, when the elephant comes out, straight in the mud, dirty again. A lot of time we do it, we say sorry, and we are back again doing the same thing. And how many times we have repeatedly said sorry? Number and a number of times. January coming. In January, a lot of people. I met one of the friend who said that it's going like sixth or seventh year that every January I join the gym and it only lasts for February or March and then I drop it. And I said, what's you going to do this time? He said, I will try at least I will make it to April. Never mind the whole year. 6 or 7. Now, why? This is like that atonement. We go, we commit ourselves, but we are not completely. We do the sins again. And what are the kind of sins in this analogy? Sleeping late, eating late, and that's it. You cannot wake up early in the morning, and you can't do. So you promise yourself you won't do something, but then you fall down. Why? Because of the sense control. Because we are not Goswami, we are Godasa. That's it. We know we need to wake up early in the morning to the chanting to be part of the Mangala Aarti, but we still fall down. Why? Because we don't sleep on time. We don't sleep on time, we eat late, and we might be watching and listening over. Thief and police, how many? How many? I mean, in London, it's a disaster at the moment, where a lot of, if you haven't heard, that a lot of those who were not released criminals, they are released by mistake. I mean, imagine. They were not released, they released on by mistake and they're not back. But the point is, how many thieves and the criminals been back and forth, released and come back, released and come back? I think percentage was released like more than 85% of the criminals, if I use the word, I don't know what the technical word is. But these guys, they've been back and forth, 85%, which means whatever is happening in the jail is not helping. And of course, that's the reason devotees have started preaching in the cell, or been preaching for a long time now, and of course, seen the difference. So we should not be like that. We should not be like those criminals who make the mistake and then don't learn from us. Right? Everyone is going to fall down because when we are grown, we have our conditioning. We will make mistakes, but try to improve. Try to improve. Don't make mistakes again and again. Confession. One of the stories that somebody went to the confession, in some other religions, there is a confession boxes, and you go and you sit there, and the priest is on the other side, and you confess something you have done wrong. And sometimes they ask you to pay something for it, maybe $30 or 30 pound. The reason being that people used to come and used to say, "Oh, I won't do it again." They say it again, and this time the priest said, "We will make you pay. When you will pay, at least next time when you will come, you will think, oh, well, I don't want to do this because I won't pay. I don't have to pay anymore." So this guy who came and he said, okay, I did the bad thing. And he said, okay, don't do it again. Pay 30 quid. He paid 90 quid. I said, it's only 30. Why do you pay 90? He said, because I'm pretty sure I will repeat the same mistake at least twice again. So I would like to pay in advance. Now, why? We know this is bad. We have said sorry, but still we will do it again. Why? Because we don't have control on senses. Vacho vegam mansaha krodha vegam. So these Well, again, I've put together in a different perspective, different context, but these analogies are given by Maharaj Parikshit. Actually, there is one more in the purport Srila Prabhupada mentioned, which is bogus chanting. So there is a Prabhuji who was so when we have this, if you see, we take the finger out, and it's a real example. I forgot the name of Prabhuji now. In America, I think he was he ran away from the prison, and he was running. He found Hare Krishna devotees doing the chanting, and he joined them, and he followed them, and he reached to the temple. He narrated his own story. And he reached to the temple, and devotees were tired, and they had prasadam, and they slept. And then he ate and he slept, and no one realized. And then somebody said, "Well, sorry, who are you?" And he said, "I just came from there, and I would like to stay with you." And I said, "Okay, stay, no worries." And then, like, and this happens still. I have met some people. Anyone could go to the temple and stay. If they have a place, they will let you stay. They these days they do the background check as well, that you're not one of those criminals who are trying to hide. But they give you food, they give you cloth, they give you the shelter, so you can stay there. These basic three needs will be done. In return, you have to do some service. That's it. So this Prabhuji, the criminal, then he was doing the same, and he was given a bead bag, and the beads were there inside, and everybody was chanting. And you know, when devotees chant, sometimes when the one circle is done to get so the mala, to sort the mala out, you sometimes move it, and the finger, one finger is always pointing out. And he sat down in a group, and everybody was pointing, and he felt like everybody was pointing finger at him, because he said that I had my hand in, but I wasn't chanting. He said I wasn't chanting, and everybody was pointing fingers at me, and I didn't know what's wrong. So after a few months, and then it was nearly a year, he said, that I went to the president and I said, because he was listening, he was serving, he was eating prasadam, he was there with devotees trying to hide himself. He said he went to the president, temple president, and he said, I'm very fallen, I'm a criminal and all. And he said, very good. Temple president thought like what devotees, when they become humble, they try to say bad things about themselves. And they say, very good. The chanting in the prasadam and your service is helping you. You are realizing that you have fallen, you have made mistakes. He said, no, 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 no. I'm not one of those. I'm a real criminal. And then the temple president understood, and he said, well, okay, you should go back. You should go back and surrender yourself. And this devotee, he went back, he surrendered himself. And the police was surprised that how come? Because we couldn't catch him. The person comes, and this was a news story and all in America. And it's a shame I forgot the name of the Prabhuji, because when he came back, he joined the movement. Not only he joined the movement, he became one of those leaders, because he was a total surrender. He was a total surrender, because Srila Prabhupada accepted him with open arms, and Srila Prabhupada accepted so many devotees from different backgrounds, irrespective of their backgrounds, their own parents. Because some of these, they were rich, they did wrong things just because they didn't have anything else to do. You know, like rich kids these days, they become criminals sometimes, and of course their parents trying to hide. But those days, if parents won't hide, they will just boycott. That no, you're shame to the society, you're shame to our family, and we don't want you to be part of it. And I don't want to take the name, but this is something happening currently in London as well. One of the royal family member has been stripped off from his title. So these things are real. And that's what happened with this devotee as well, that his parents left him, the society boycotted him, but Srila Prabhupada accepted him. And that devotee was the one whom Srila Prabhupada sent to London, to UK, to spread the word. And he was the one who got hold of, he organized the meeting with George Harrison. George Harrison, who later donated the land to Srila Prabhupada where manor is at the moment. Of course, later on, devotees collection, and it was further expanded. But the original land was given by George Harrison, and George Harrison's meeting was organized by this devotee who came from America. And well, I don't think he's recently there, but I've certainly heard him before. So all that. So this is what we call real atonement, not the analogies we have shared so far. This is what Maharaj Parikshit has shared in Bhagavatam. So this is what real atonement is, irrespective of our past. Doesn't really matter. But now the Krishna consciousness. It says dormant Krishna consciousness, another beautiful word. So one of the devotees said that we don't say known devotee. We never say, of course, we say devotees, non-devotees, but he said that we should not say non-devotee, we should say upcoming devotees. So these are devotees who have realized they are Krishna consciousness. They might not be 100% Krishna consciousness, but they understood the significance of it. And then there are others who haven't understood yet. So we don't call them non-devotee because Krishna is there. Again, Sarvasya Chaham Hriday Sannivishta. Krishna says, I'm there in the heart of everyone. If Krishna is there in the heart of everyone, if everyone is anyways Satyachit Anand, but have not realized it, then we cannot say the person is non-devotee. We say the person is upcoming devotee, and the word is dormant. If you see here, it says dormant Krishna consciousness, dormant KC. This is what we are looking for. Dormant KC, dormant Krishna consciousness. This is the tapasya. Now, austerity has been mentioned, and whichever religion we go to, whenever we would like to progress it further, austerity is one of those. Whether we do the holidays, like every Sunday people go to the churches, whether they do the holy month as Ramadan, whether if you are Buddhist, we do a lot and a lot of meditation there. Gyanis will do a lot and a lot of Raj Vidya. Whichever route we will take, whichever religion we think of, tapasya has always been part of it. But what that tapasya will do is that kind of tapasya where we have a very dirty utensil and we are working hard to cleanse it, to clean it. And that's a bit of austerity. The more we will try to clean, the cleaner it will get. And of course, what the sadhu sangha will do, sadhu sangha will let us know exactly where the dirt is. Sadhu sangha will let us know what kind of soap we should use, detergent we should use, utensil. Everything will fall into place if we are in association. So that is the, well, of course, the tapasya is our own. That's why the realization is not a borrowed realization, it's a self-realization. What is borrowed realization? When we hear something and we repeat it back, we don't really mean it, right? And this is what happens, that a lot of time we hear and we say to others, but we don't really mean. And so Gandhiji's example, Gandhiji's landlord said to Gandhiji that my son listens to you and he eats a lot of sugar or jaggery good. Could you ask him to stop it? He will say, I will tell him next week. And then Gandhiji told him next week and he stopped. Then the landlord or landlady, I'm not sure, said to Gandhiji that if you just had to say this, that please stop it, then why didn't you say it last week itself? Because Gandhiji said it, then even I was taking it. Even I was taking a bit of sugar. And I stopped it for a week. I stopped it myself. And then the potency was there when I requested it. Right? So when the parents are themselves on the mobile, remember, whether we are on the mobile or we are on chanting beads, this is what the kids going to see, not what we are going to say. If we are on the mobile and we say chant, will they chant? But if we are chanting ourselves, hopefully, likelihood, sooner or later they will pick the chanting beats as well. And I always give the example of Aryan, and this is going back in 2018. So now roughly 7, 8 years back. So Aryan is 16 now. So then he was 8, 9 years old. We went to New Mayapur. and New Mayapur. We used to live in 2018. We were in Paris. From Paris, we went to middle of France, and New Mayapur is a beautiful mansion. We stayed there, and the weather was bad. Bad in a sense, it was winter time. You wouldn't go outside. We were inside in the temple with the devotees for 3 nights, 4 days. We only went out once, and that was also for the street Sankirtan. We went out with devotees in the car, we did the Sankirtan. During lunchtime, we came back. So, of course, there wasn't much to do. We were chanting most of the time. Aryan, at the age of 8, 9 years old, no one had asked him. For 3 days, he did 64 rounds for 3 days. So first day 64, second day 64, and third day. And he himself was proud of it. No one had asked for it. Why? Because the devotees were all around. Well, at home, the parents are anyways there. But if the parents were great, he would have done 64 rounds even before. But it's the association of the devotees, and of course, the temple environment is such. That's why the retreats are so nice. If we could go, and now and then I try to share when I get some messages from Manor or Soho, the retreats are there and they get fully booked. The tapasya is there, and where it says training according to the regulative principles and methodical life. This is what we learn, and this is what we see when we see the devotee. So this gives us the association. Then we understand the application. It's not learn it and tell others. We need to apply what we learn, and then we become the role model for the next generation and for others as well. And then traditional tapasyas. So again, austerity is one of them. This is, if you see, again, these are the noble truths of Buddhism. They, any religion we go to, any different parts, any school, there are six school of thoughts in yoga, in Vedic culture, and they all follow these basic principles. All follow these basic principles. Cleanliness is close to the next to the godliness, we say. Mind and sense control, we got to do it. Sooner or later, we got to do it. Whether we are in studies, whether we are in the office, wherever we are. I was there in my university days. I was in, well, even in one of the companies I worked in. When the FIFA football happens, they put the big screen there, and somebody came up and said, well, is it not distracting? And they said, if this screen is not there, everybody open on their computers. Now, at least collectively, they can focus on the football. And then when the break happens, they can collectively go back to their work. So it's better to have this big screen here so they can enjoy and they can go back rather than hiding and trying to watch it. So mind and sense control is required. And if they know the sense control is not there, here we go. We try to engage them. Of course, that's materially, but we are trying to do something spiritually. Celibacy is one of the four regulative principles Srila Prabhupada ji gave it. Austerity, truthfulness, fearfulness, and truthfulness is very, very why people lie, because they are either greedy or fearful. And truthfulness and fearfulness, fearlessness, they are probably the topmost quality any devotee get it. If something happens, you're still truthful, you still fear because you have control over you have the trust over the Lord is not never going to well, whatever, like what Mataji was saying in the beginning, that we have made our own plans, but Krishna's, we need to trust Krishna's plan. If our plan did not work, then we know Krishna's plan is working. So we should always be renounce. So we should always look for the renunciation. We are going to do these Nectar of Instructions for a while now, especially Nectar of Instruction verse 1. It's going to take few sessions. Check, pick anything. Vacho Vegam, maybe the first one. For the whole week, work on that. Whatever I'm going to say, each one of us just realize, is it important? And there are many other philosophers, Greek philosophers also said it. I will not say like somebody came and say, oh, I want to tell you something about your friend. They say, okay, hang on. Let's do a quick test. Are you sure it's true what you're going to say? Well, no, it's a kind of rumor. Okay. Is it helpful to me or to you? Say no. I'll say, okay, it's not helpful to you, to me, and you're not sure about it. Third, is it helpful to, or is it a good, it's a glorification, or it's something bad about the person you're going to say? I'll say it's not positive. Say, come on, you failed all three tests. You're not sure about it. It's a rumor. It's not helpful to you, it's not helpful to me, and it's not even good about the person. Don't say it. Watch your wake up. Save your energy, save my energy, save your effort, save my effort. Don't say it. So let's practice the whole week at least and then try to do at least. There are six qualities. Food is another one. Let's try sattvic food. And if we say, oh, well, we all take sattvic food. Maybe the quality is good. Let's try the quantity now. Let's try the quantity. People have been saying about now intermittent fasting. Well, when we say we're going to have food only when the sun is going to shine, and of course, I appreciate in London is very hard, but at least what we can do, take the big solid food only when the sun is shining. So, for example, have the last meal maybe 6 or 7, and then next morning you will only eat maybe around 8. So you already have intermittent fasting going. These things were part of our culture anyways. And still a lot of devotees, they follow it. And not only Krishna conscious, all other spirituals, they follow it. Yoga asana, Ashtang Yoga, Yam Niyam. The very first thing is Yam Niyam. What are they? They are instruction, do's and don'ts. All these things going to help. Again, not only spiritual, materially. That's why spiritual people are materially successful. They are materially happy, right? And otherwise, you might have a lot of money. And I always say to my wife most of the time, but if you think about it, if you have two kids, right? And or maybe if you have one kid, which I know some of you do, then think of two versions of them. Which one would you prefer? 10 years later, your child is millionaire, but miserable. We have a lot of those miserable millionaires, and unfortunately, some of them they cannot control and they committed suicide or they went down to criminal routes. There are different types of criminals, of course, not only what we call blue collar, could be black collar doing the bribery and many other things. But would you prefer miserable millionaire, or would you consider that your child, son or daughter, after 10 years got a maybe stable job, enough money, but he's happy. He completely content in whatever he or she has. I think without a doubt, the only thing, I mean, still this age, when I say pranam to my mother-in-law or to my own mother, the very first I think it's quite natural. The blessings they give me is khush raho. Be happy, be blissful, be blessed naturally. And that's it. Never heard the that become a millionaire. Yeah. So if this is what we are looking for, and we know money can get us the comfort, and we think the comfort will make us happy, which they do, of course. If you're going to sit on the cactus, or if you're going to sleep on the floor, and if you're going to sleep on one of the orthopedic mattress, then orthopedic mattress might be good for our body. If the body is good, we are comfortable, we had a comfortable sleep, the day is going to go good. Good. That's nice. But is that what it is? Maybe not. And that's where the do and don'ts come. Of course, we need to do few things, but we need to have a limit how far we need to go. It's a comfort to the body. We need to take care of the body as a vehicle, right? But not to the limit where it will become sense gratification. So that do's and don'ts are there. And Rupa Goswami ji has given, it says, Pancha tapasya. We will do this. Actually comes from the Shastras, and there's a bit of detail required in it, but it's very. This is given by the school of thought that even if you don't understand the reason why you are doing it, it will still help. For example, fasting, Ekadashi fasting, or any other fasting we do. Even if we don't understand the spiritual, we are going to get our body always keep working whenever we are eating. It says when we sleep, the body repairs. But because we have a big meal, body is busy digesting that meal, body doesn't get the time to repair. Otherwise, we will never have these cancers or anything because body will repair itself. Body can heal even cancers. Oh, I think I heard in India, Sidhuji, one of the cricketer, and his wife, I think, had cancer. I think he said stage 4 cancer. I don't know the detail, but I heard him in a clip in one of the Ayurvedic Mataji was mentioning his clip where he said stage 4 cancer to my wife. And doctor said gave a few months or so, and he did Ayurvedic treatment, and in that treatment there were only do's and don'ts. Don't eat those things, eat those things. He said that's it. No operation whatsoever. He said by the time doctor said my wife will be no more, my wife is back to nearly full health, and the doctor himself was surprised. Those were his words. And because I did yoga with Yoga Guru as well, and I can say I have seen something similar where the operations were postponed or completely cancelled when the teacher said, just follow me for a while or leave these things. And it's amazing. Leave these things and you will be okay. And that happened. So, in this one slide, there's a lot we could. And all we have seen today that Maharaj Parikshit's, again, reference to the Bhagavatam, some analogies being given. We don't want to fall into those categories. We don't want to be the fourth analogy, which is not here, which is in the purport, bogus chanting. We don't want to do the bogus chanting. We should do the proper chanting. And let's work on the real atonement. In real atonement, we need to do a bit of tapasya, just take care of all. If we cannot start working for all of those things all together, let's just pick one. For example, vacho vegam, mansaha, krodha vegam. Let's just write down how many times we get angry. Because when we write down, so I have been writing a diary for many, many, many years, even before I started reading a lot of spiritual. Because I give credit to my son, because when he was, I used to ask a lot of questions. So I thought my son will be asked, my child will be asking. When my son was born, I thought, oops, he's there. One sooner or later he's going to ask, let's read. And then I started reading. And obviously later on, some karma and I got into Krishna consciousness. But even before I used to write a diary. Every night before we sleep, and we can say how many times we got angry, how many times we fell down on Vacho Vegam, Mansaha, Krodha Vegam. So let's focus on these. And maybe next week when we come back, we will do a bit more of discussion, the personal realizations, where we succeeded and where we fell down, because that's a self-realization, and we can build upon that. And I'm always happy to have your association. So thank you so much. And thank you to Srila Prabhupada ji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev Maharaj ki jai, jai jai.
Yay.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you. Thank you, Hare.
Look forward to see everyone next weekend. Take good care of yourself. Hare
Hare Krishna.